Hey, what's up, everybody? It's TJ with Sanctified Homes, and today we're going to talk about maybe why solar isn't your first best option when you're talking about energy savings and trying to be more friendly with the environment. Solar is a great option, by the way, but with that said, we have to take into account that I could make any house, in theory, a net zero or net positive home if I just put enough solar on it, right? However, if you actually build the home properly or remodel your house to be air sealed better and better insulation, you're going to be better off first because that is the cheapest option, right? Air seal it and insulate it better is cheaper than putting a, let's say, 15 or 50,000 or however much you want to spend on solar option on your house, right? Don't build a drafty, leaky, poor built home and then put solar and think that's a good use of your money. So your first good use of your money when you're talking about being energy conscious is to build an airtight house with great insulation. Now, you guys know, if you follow our channel, Wisconsin, in my opinion, is lacking in our insulation standards. So look at what your codes are in your area. Also pay attention to, right, we don't want to over insulate because at a certain point you have that law of diminishing return, and then you could take that money and put it into better windows, better doors, or a solar system. So when it comes to solar, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of things to consider. Solar is a great option if you're talking about wanting to reduce your energy footprint, your energy carbon, all of that, because then your home can produce its own energy. And with the advancements of solar, with the batteries that we can have in our house, I mean, for most of the year, you could pretty much run energy independent of being on a grid somewhere. But again, there is that upfront cost with it. There are some benefits, right? There are some negatives to it. It is a big upfront cost. You have to figure out for your own area based on how much sunlight you get, all of that stuff, how much winter you're exposed to. Does it make sense for you? You know, if you're in Alaska somewhere where half the year you're in the dark, you're probably not going to make that decision to put solar on because you'd be best served to use that money somewhere else, right? Where I live, I have a ton of trees around me. I could put solar on, but I'm not going to be able to capture that benefit where I'm at. You know, when you're talking about somewhere in California, they have a tremendous amount of sun. They can capture all that solar. They can run their homes for longer periods of time off of that. So you have to factor all these things in when you're looking at putting solar into your house. So with it said, obviously, there's always a pro and con to anything that we're going to put out there, right? So pro, energy savings, you're going to reduce your carbon footprint. You're going to, right, be able to have energy if the power goes out. There's a lot of pros to having solar. A con, right, it's going to be a cost to it, right? We have the batteries that we want for backup in case the power does go out. Otherwise, then you're only going to have power when it's actually getting that solar feeding into your supply. Well, and then on top of that, right, so we have negatives with just, do we know enough yet about the lifetime usefulness of the solar panels you're getting? We do a lot of research. We look at stuff. Obviously, the solar companies are going to say, look, it will last that long. What we're seeing, though, is maybe it's not lasting quite as long as what they're saying. So there is a little bit of, look, I want solar. One, because it's energy conscious. Yes, there is some cost to that. You could put a little bit bigger solar system on your house and then sell that energy back to the utility companies. Now, it's different everywhere. It's not a dollar for dollar return everywhere. Some places have it, I believe, still. Other places are going to pay back, let's pretend, 30% of what you're actually bringing in. So you have to look at all of those things and figure out what's best for you. There's people that go way over and are net positive. That's their choice. It's not like you have to do that. But definitely look into solar if you're energy conscious, not worried, but concerned about the environment and what we're doing. You know, some of these big solar fields that we see out there now, they're saying that those are actually heating up temperature degrees because of all those black panels and that reflectiveness. So we'll see what happens with that going forward in the future. But if you guys have more questions about solar, want to know about solar, want us to try to get somebody on who is an expert solar company, installer, stuff like that, let us know. In the meantime, reach out, like, subscribe, make sure you guys are sharing the channel. And, you know, when you're looking at things you can do when you're building a house, especially, or remodeling, to be more energy conscious, look at those products that are green products that are reusable. They reoccur naturally in the earth. You know, like we always talk about rock wool, but it's made from rocks, right? Volcanic rocks specifically. You know, you have different types of material that you can put into your house, and then obviously for energy consumption, there's a lot of ways to produce energy to feed your house than just solar even. So with that said, in the meantime, don't forget to raise your standard. We'll talk to you guys soon.